In this video, we're going to look at a number of current Twitter tutorial topics, including the ability to create lists, a handy way to see content from people you're really interested in, then how you can pin some of those lists to the top of your profile page, also how you can see what lists you've been added to so you get a better idea of your community. You can also follow particular topics that you really want to keep in touch with. I'll show you how to pin a tweet to the top of your profile. And finally, I'll show you the ability now to natively schedule within Twitter your content. So it saves you a lot of time, no need for third-party expensive add-ons. Okay, so all that coming up right now. Here we go. When it comes to using Twitter, having lists of key accounts that you want to follow and connect with organized really well is a great thing. And I'll show you how to create a list and add members to that list in this video. Here we go. So you need to click on lists as I've done here, and then you need to go up here to the icon with the note page and the plus and click on there. Each list needs a title, a description, and then you determine whether you make it private or public. Now bear in mind that if you make it private, you can't later make it public, so be clear about your decisions. I'll call this one social media training, and then I'll say social media accounts. Yeah, they're optional, you don't really need to have the description, but it's a useful thing to do. I've made that public so everyone can see it. I'll say next, and now we can add members. One of the great things is you can have suggested members based on recommended people, so I'll add a couple of these accounts and I'll say done, and now you can see all the latest tweets from those particular members. Certainly seems to be a couple there, so really straightforward. You can now pin particular lists to the top of your profile, so the key ones you want to interact with more often you can put into those top 5 pinned profiles. Instead of having a huge list of lists, you can just pick out the key information you need to see. They make life a lot more manageable, and they give you some great ideas about who to follow, because you'll find members of lists. You can see how many members there are in each one, and you'll see how active those members are from the tweets they send. Twitter lists are a great way to organize the way you see your Twitter newsfeed, and you can now actually pin up to 5 different lists to your profile. I'll show you how in this video. Here we go. So here I am logged into my Twitter profile, and now I go to lists on the left hand side, and you can see here pinned. Nothing to see yet, but you can pin up to 5. So all you need to do is go down, pick out 5 or so of the most valuable ones. So if I say the ones about the FSB, list of social members, Grantham Business Club members, Lincoln Community, Lincoln Media. Now I can see they're all pinned across the top. If I want to edit that list, I can change the order in which they appear, and then when I'm happy with it, click done. So that's it. That's how you create pinned lists that you can go to any time. You can just click on one of them and you'll see all the current activity in that particular list, how many members, how many people are following it. If you've had an active account on Twitter for a while, you may have been added to a number of lists, and these will give you great insight into the kinds of people you want to connect with. I'll show you how you see the list you're on in this video. Here we go. So all you need to do is go to lists from your homepage, and you can see the pinned ones at the top. You've got all the different lists that you've created yourself, some private, some public. But if you click here on the 3 dots at the top, you can see lists that you're on. So the most recent one that's added you will be at the top, and we can see these lists. And if you click on any one of these lists, like for example Grantham People, 36 members, you can follow the list can see the members of the list, see anyone you haven't followed yet. So really useful resource, this one. Lists really are the key to making Twitter a success. It helps you connect with the right kinds of people and see more of the content you want to see. Topics are a great way to let Twitter know what you're really interested in reading about. You want to get the latest news and information as you're browsing through, and you get the top tweets from those particular topics. I'll show you how you do that in this video. So what you need to do is click on More and then select Topics, the first entry there. And they've got some suggested topics based on what you're already following, if you are, like this, business and finance. Or you could say More Topics, and you'll see all kinds listed there. And they're adding new ones all the time, just to get the feel for it. So if I say, let's say entertainment, there's only one category there, but there's subcategories, digital creators and channels, and all kinds of ones there. Popular podcasts, and lots of different ones. So, you know, if you're working for a client, you're looking after a particular technology client or something like that, you can click on technology, just generally follow these sort of new topics. So you've got artificial intelligence, augmented reality, all kinds of really specialized topics that you can really get a lot from. So once you've added a few topics, you can have a look. If I just go back now in your home feed. Now if you click in the home section, click on the star thing there, it'll say top tweets will be shown first rather than the latest tweets. So latest tweets being the real-time current tweets, whereas top tweets are ones that have been selected for you. So you have a look at your content preferences and go through those sometime, but essentially the top tweets will now include some of the topics we've looked at. So rather than just a random collection of video of tweets, now I can pick out essentially the For You topics I've selected. So machine learning there, for example, business and finance news. All the topics that I've selected are there for me to look through. So just that bit easier. I can also pick different things individually as well, but you know, it's just much easier to find the content I'm really interested in. Pinning your tweet to your Twitter profile helps you stand out, showcase your message, and I'll show you how to do that in 2020 in this video. Here we go. So I'm signed into Twitter. I will just go down now to the top of the page. You can see I've got a pinned tweet there with a little pin icon next to it. And all I need to do to unpin that is to go to it and say unpin from profile. You have to unpin the existing one before you can pin any more tweets to it. So notice that was from July 2019. So you can pick the latest tweet or anything you want to showcase. So just scrolling down, I can select a different tweet. So this one from 2018, I can say pin to your profile. It will appear at the top and replace any previously pinned tweet. And that's it. And again, if you want to choose a different one and pin that to the top, that'll be the case as well. So if I go up to the top now, you can see that tweet is now pinned to the top. So really straightforward. Did you know that you could now schedule tweets directly within Twitter, not through some third-party app, but directly in Twitter? And I'll show you how in this video. Here we go. So yes, since November 2019, Twitter's added the ability to natively schedule your tweets within Twitter. You go to where you say what's happening. I'll say future tweet. Then click here on the schedule button. By default, seems to be in 5 days time at the same time, so I'll just make that. Obviously can't go back in time, so I couldn't do the 17th for example, but you can do any date in the future. So I'll say tomorrow, same time. Now I'll say confirm, and then the last thing to do is click this blue schedule button here. Okay, so now if I want to discover the tweets I've scheduled, I go to more, and then click on Media Studio. And you can see the tab Scheduled Tweets, and there it is. There's the 2 tweets I've got scheduled, and I can edit either of those. Now, rather than from Media Studio, where you can only delete the tweets you've scheduled, you can go back to see your schedules as well by clicking on the scheduled icon again, clicking on Scheduled Tweets, and here you can actually select them. Unsent tweets in the schedule section. And there, by clicking on it directly, you can edit the details, etc. Change the what you've scheduled and go again. So once you've had enough of a particular tweet, you can click on the time and date and then say clear. And now that's an unsent tweet, so I'll just close it for now and you can just tweet that as normal. Okay, so you can save it to come back to later. And now it's in a drafts folder. So yeah, really good to have that feature within Twitter directly. It saves a lot of messing around. Makes your life a lot easier. You can take pictures, images on the go and save them as drafts, and then put out the content later at the best time for your audience.